Hi Flow Gang, it's your girl Flow Babes coming to you live and direct from YouTube. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing okay. If you're not doing so hot, let me know in the comment section. And if you're doing okay, let me know in the comment section as well. I would love to hear what's going on with you guys. So, if you watched the video before this, I talked about a few things that I wish I knew before going to Japan. Now I'm going to talk about a few things I wish I knew before going to South Korea. Not North Korea, South Korea. It's funny because I actually wore this same jacket in South Korea as well. So I figured why not like use it for this video, you know, rekindle some memories. But we're just going to get straight into it. The first thing I wish that someone told me about South Korea is that there's certain clubs that foreigners cannot get into. Why do we go to this? We tried to get into this one club. I believe the name was Purple. And literally right at the door, the bouncer told us, no, you cannot get in because we weren't Korean. Like, they even discriminate between like Japanese and Korean. Like, you had to be Korean to get into that club. I was so mad because the music was actually jumping. Like, it sounded like it was so fun in there, but because of their restriction and everything, we weren't allowed to get in. I felt like I would have enjoyed the trip a little bit more if I had known that, because I would have just prepared myself for that, if you know what I mean. Next up, get an eSIM. Just like I said for Japan, you need an eSIM for Korea, even more so because Korea didn't even have street Wi-Fi. At least Japan has like street Wi-Fi you can kind of connect to and like dibble dabble here, but like Korea, nah, like you need eSIM. Like, I didn't even get an eSIM for Japan, my friend did, and then when I got to Korea I realized I can't actually like depend on my friend. I actually have to get it for myself because the network there was just not stable at all, like outside of like your accommodation. The same way I said that you need to know a little bit about the language before going to Japan is the same thing I'm gonna say for Korea. I would say if you really like, honestly, we enjoyed our trip without knowing much Korean, but if you really want to enjoy it, I feel like knowing just a little bit would take you a lot further, because you go to places like Latte World where they don't even speak English like at all, and then you go to all these local markets where they don't speak English at all, and it's like, how do we communicate? How do they get you what you need? How do you get what you need if you're not even able to come to a mutual language? So I would say just download Duolingo right now. Like, as you're watching this video, pause it, download Duolingo, or watch YouTube videos if need be so you can learn a little bit of Korean before you even head out and get on the plane and get to South Korea, because there's gonna be places where you're gonna need to know, like, even if it's just a smidge of like Korean, you will need to know it just so you can be able to communicate. Also, you guys, did you know about this place called Latte World in Korea? Like, I've heard a lot about Disney Sea. You know, they have different franchises in California, Paris, Tokyo, all these different places. So I already had an idea about Disney, but I never knew about this place called Latte World. It's basically like a Disney World, but Korean version. I think their mascot is like a fox or something. But if you didn't know about Latte World, add that to your itinerary right now. Stop what you're doing right now and add it to your itinerary, because Latte World is everything that I thought Disney was fun, but like Latte World was amazing. Don't get me started on the food, don't get me started on the experiences, the hospitality. Like, the food was amazing, it was affordable, just like Disney as well. I mean, it was kind of more on the pricier side compared to like outside food, but it wasn't anything crazy. Latte World is one of those places I wish I knew more about, because I would have prepared my mind for it a lot. When I first got to Latte World, I honestly wasn't expecting much, just because we started off by riding the carousel, and it's an indoor amusement park. So you honestly wouldn't expect much from the Latte World at first glance, but the more you do the activities, the more roller coasters you ride, the more food you eat, the more you realize, like, oh my god, this place is actually amazing. Don't even get me started on the mall that's attached to Latte World. Like, it's a huge mall that comes with an aquarium. There's so many aspects and segues to this mall like that. It's so huge, guys. Just add Latte World to your itinerary, because honestly you will love it when you get there. And honestly, when you do get to Latte World, come back on this this video and comment and let me know how great of a time it was, because I have no doubt in my mind that it would be great. Because guys, we got there at about 12 in the afternoon or 11 in the morning, and we did not leave till like 10 p.m. We were even the ones that helped them to clean up the latte world and close up shop, because it was that fun. Like, honestly, I'd highly recommend Latte World anytime, any day. Like, I wish I knew more about it. I wish I did more research on that place. Honestly, one thing I really wish I knew before going to Korea, I wish I carried a lot of different types of adapters for my chargers, because I noticed that in Japan it was a lot easier to charge my phone. Japan is more tech savvy compared to Korea, so there were a lot of places I'd go to where my adapter wouldn't fit in, it would be falling out. I was just having all sorts of complications with the adapters there in Korea. But honestly, I suggest like carrying different shapes and sizes of adapters with you, just so that you can be able to like test it out and see which ones work for different locations and different areas, because some places in Korea use circular adapters, some places use the square adapters. So I would just suggest getting like at least 2-3 different types of adapters that you can try and switch out from time to time when you're in Korea, because you don't want a situation where your phone dies and you're not able to like get around to like the different places that you're trying to get to. Another thing that I wish I knew before going to Korea is downloading the Naver app. Google Maps is not your friend in Korea. I'm telling you right now. Just don't even bother downloading it if you're going to South Korea. Download Naver app. It's actually not that easy of an app to understand. Me and my friend had a actually my friend, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give her roses, I'm gonna give her flowers, I'm gonna give her credit. She was the whole brains behind the whole Naver app. I didn't even bother learning it because it was so complicated for me. I like my Google Maps and Apple Maps where they just tell me turn left here and it's actually left, not left and it's the left up down the street. So yeah, download the Naver app, and not only download it when you land in the airport, I would say download it before you even, like, let's say you planned your trip today, download it that day that you've solidified that you're going to South Korea, because from that day you should start learning how to use the Naver app and mastering it, because it's not an app that you just download and you know how to use off rip. Like, you actually have to learn it and learn what it means to turn here and turn there, because it's kind of confusing. I'm not gonna even lie to you. In fact, like, another thing I'd also say before going to Korea, start now and start gaining your confidence. Start now and start gaining your confidence. I don't even know how to explain. Start now and start gaining your confidence, learning how to talk to people that you're not used to talking to, strangers, because almost the amount of strangers we had to talk to on this trip, because as much as we used the Naver app, like I said, it was very confusing. So there were a lot of places where if not all, like most places, we had to ask around to get to the certain place. So for example, there was this boba place we kept looking for. We could not find it on the Naver app. It wasn't until we asked someone that they helped us navigate through and figure out where that boba place was that we were able to find it. If we had just gone based off of the Naver app, we would have never found the boba place we're trying to figure out how to get to. Where should I even begin? Even self, like, there was one Korean barbecue spot we wanted to go to, very delicious spot. I wish I even remembered the name of the spot. It's just that it was like a hole in the wall restaurant, and we kind of found it like randomly. But anyways, we're trying to get to this place, and we could not for the light of us find this place. The only reason why we were able to find it is because we asked somebody to navigate us to find the restaurant. So I would, if you have already booked your trip to South Korea, I would start now and start practicing how to talk to strangers if you're not already used to talking to strangers, if you don't really like to, because strangers were the reasons why we're even able to find our way around Korea most of the time. Even when it came to like navigating train stations, it took us a while to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And thankfully, like, the strangers in Korea, they're very nice, they're very kind, they're very open and willing to help you figure out how to get around in Korea. So honestly, if I were you, go ahead now. There's this technique I heard that helps you learn how to like build your confidence. I heard I think it's called the rejection thing, where people say no. Like, you ask people things that you know that they would say no to you about, and you start getting used to people saying no to you. Apparently it helps build your confidence. So if you want to start doing that, go ahead and start doing that. But I would just start now and start practicing how to get out of my comfort zone and talk to other people. And you don't have to have a full-on conversation with them, or like, be the most outgoing person, but just being able to say hi, hello, do you mind helping me figure out how to get here? if they can speak English. If they can't, you know, just figuring out how to speak a little bit of their language and navigating how to communicate with them, because you're gonna need people to get along and get through Korea. I wish that I knew that bidets weren't as common in Korea. In fact, I don't even think I think I saw one bidet in the whole Korea, and I was in Korea for like almost a week. I don't think I saw bidets like that, which really sucks because I really love bidets. Bidets were just not that common in Korea, and that really sucked because I really loved having bidets in Japan. Like, even like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like in the vlog I mentioned how we had like a round trip from Houston to Japan and Japan back to Houston. So even after like coming to Korea, we still had to go to Japan for like a day to catch our flight back home. And honestly, that one day that I had the bidet in Japan, oh, I soaked it up, because bidets, I don't know how many times I could say I love these bidets. Like, I have to have bidets in my future home. Like, it's a must. It's not even up for negotiation. Like, I love bidets. One thing I wish someone told me about Korea is that you're gonna need a T card to get around. And it's not just needing the T card, but you cannot compare the 1,000 yen you spent in Japan to the 1,000 won that you spend in Korea, because I don't know if it's just me, but like the money I was spending on transportation in Korea was going a lot faster than the money I was spending in Japan. Like, the money, I think I refilled my card like once or twice. In Korea, I was refilling my card every 2 hours, every 2 business seconds. Like, I was refilling it every time, and it became so annoying to the point where like I had to even start cutting through this is probably gonna get me in trouble with the Korean government, but I had to start cutting through the place where you scan the, what do you call it? I had to start cutting through the handicap section to like cut through to get to the train, because they were taking too much money from me. Like, what is it? Haven't you done enough? I was so stressed about it because it was like every 2 seconds, like I was refilling my card. Like, it was chopping my money like crazy. So I wouldn't advise doing it, but keep in mind they don't be really keeping track of like the bus stations or whatever. But yeah, I would just say like keep that in mind when you're refilling the T card. I feel like you should even start off with like 10,000 won off rip, because 1,000, all this small 1,000, it's not gonna get you anywhere, baby. Refill it to the highest brim, because I was refilling every second. It was exhausting, honestly. I think that's it for now. If you guys have a few things that you wish you knew before going to Korea, or some questions that you have that you want me to answer, let me know. I would love to answer it for you. I don't mind making a whole separate video. I got you. You know I'm your girl. But yeah, if you can please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Share this video. Let me say this again. Share this video, because you never know who might be needing this video. You never know who this video might help. But yeah, I'll see you guys next Friday. Ciao.